So you have an intermediate or an advanced level in English, but you want to learn an additional language. However, learning and improving a foreign language takes a lot of time and effort. And by learning an additional language, do we really want to spend twice as much time and energy to learn an additional language? Well, this may not be necessary because I have a secret for you. And this is going to help you maximize your time and energy and effectively keep your English while improving your new language and learning your new language. Do you want to know what that secret is? Come in a little closer. It's called language stacking. So language stacking, what is that? This is when you use your second or third or fourth language in order to learn or start learning an additional language. So if English is your second language, you are using it to learn your third or fourth language. Or if it's your third, you're using it to learn your fourth language. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you how this saves time and also how to do it effectively. So first off, how does it help you save time? Well, if your goal is to spend, 10 minutes a day in a language or 20 minutes a day in a language, if you have English and another language, you might be spending 40 hours trying to cover both of the languages because you still want to spend time in English to improve it, and you also want to spend time in the language that you are starting to learn. Of course, with language stacking, it's important to have at least an intermediate level in the language that you are using to learn your new language. But if you understand this video, your English is enough to be learning another language in English. But what does this look like? So I'll share with you some examples of how you can language stack. One is if you're going to buy books to learn a language, instead of using your first language, let's say your first language is French and you want to learn, maybe Chinese, don't buy How to Learn Chinese in French. Buy a book that is How to Learn Chinese in English. So you see all the explanations and grammar points explained in English, which helps you to reinforce and to continually be immersed in English. So this helps you to keep your English as well as improve your English while learning your third or fourth language, which is Chinese in this example. And you guys are really lucky because I feel like there are a lot of books that help you learn another language in English. But as for me, it was hard because for my fourth language, it was Ukrainian, and it's hard to find books that teach Ukrainian, first of all, and then to have books in Spanish teaching Ukrainian, that is next level and harder to find. So lucky for you, English books are easy to find. At least they are for me. So I assume they are wherever you are in the world. Or you can also use this in other apps that you are using to learn your new language. For example, I use the app Link. So you can change your first language as English, or you can make it translate to your new language, which in our example, it was Mandarin. So for me, I language stack the opposite way as well. So I have a fairly solid knowledge in Spanish. So for me, I made it so that it translates to Ukrainian. So when it gives me the Ukrainian translation, which is my fourth language, I can kind of cross-reference that way and practice my Ukrainian. But then I actually don't language stack when I am using Link in Ukrainian. I actually translate it back to my first language. So there are different ways that you can language stack. You really have to see what works for you. So if you have any other ways that you like to language stack or creative ways that you think a person could, please tell us down in the comments section. That could inspire and help others. Also, why is this helpful? Well, when we have an intermediate to an advanced level in a foreign language and we use it to learn another language, it also helps us to see different gaps in our knowledge or things that we're missing in the language that we think we have almost mastered. I know sometimes when I see different translations, I realize, wow, I didn't know that word. Or when I'm reading explanations, grammar explanations, and I see that, wow, I didn't know that preposition goes with that word or whatnot. So even when we are language stacking, our language that we think is stronger does need some work. So sometimes we're not only keeping that language, but we're also improving it. So have you ever language stacked before? If so, tell us down below and tell us how you found out about it. If you're interested in other methods on learning English or another language, or you want to see what kind of action plan I would have if I was learning a language from scratch, feel free to click this video up here. Anyways, take care and see you in my next video. Bye!